Roadhouse, as Peter Griffin once said. This is a movie that did not need to be made, but it was. It follows Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's a ex UFC fighter, and he gets recruited to be a bouncer at a roadhouse in the Florida Keys, I believe, Florida Keys, and it's it's fun at times, and then it's like it tries really hard to be fun, and then it tries to be serious at times, and it just, it's like when it tries too hard, it falls short. um it was enjoyable. It was a good popcorn flick action movie for a Friday night when you have nothing else to do. But there's a lot of issues with it, and I think this is just an in general issue with film. Is It's like no one knows how to write dialogue anymore. So there's one character who, it's like she cusses every other word, and it's so unnecessary. Like one time she says shit, and then like one other word, and then shit to explain the first one. And I was just like, wow, welcome to how to write dialogue when you don't know how to write dialogue. Just throw in random cuss words that explain the cuss word before, even though it's the same word. I don't know. It's weird. Um, and then you get into like I don't know if it would be filmography or simina, you know what word I'm trying to say. I can't say it for some reason right now. The way the movie is filmed is kind of like, it's like, I can't do it, my camera won't move, but it's like instead of like cutting to people, it like follows them and then follows them back. But then it'll cut, and then it'll cut, and then it'll follow, and it's just like it's incoherent on like the direction they want, and it's throughout the movie. And so it's just like, it's kind of like it was, I don't know who the director is, but it felt like it was the first time they had ever made a film. I mean, they did decent at times, but man, it's bad. But here's the real gripe. The fighting in this movie that's about fighting is CGI. Like, why? Why? There are great examples of choreography that are amazing in film, and you choose to just do this over CGI stuff that it's just, it takes away from the fight. And like in the way they have to film the fights is they have to angle them so far back so it looks like there's a punch or a hit, but it's like you can tell that there's no contact whatsoever, and you can tell because the way the angle is, or the way that the body moves on someone. Like Post Malone is in this movie at the beginning, and he's a fighter, and every time he throws a punch you can tell it's not his body, because like the way he like extends himself and just everything, it's like it looks terrible. And that's throughout the movie. And I think this film would have been way more fun if they had actually stuck to actual choreography. But that's just me. But that's what Hollywood does these days. They take CGI and they use it for everything, even when they don't need it. And to me, it's a waste of money. It would have been, maybe it would have been cheaper to get someone to act. They had a choreographer for fighting. They did. So why not just use that person? I don't understand. It's bizarre. Um, but that's my biggest gripe of this film is CGI. You just don't do it. Like if you're gonna use CGI, you go balls to the wall and do it right, or don't do it at all. There's no middle ground. It looks horrible, and it makes the movie suck. And at first, it's like, yeah, this movie's fun at times, and it's okay, but the CGI just ruins it. It is a very violent movie. It starts out violent, and it actually gets more violent once we get to a breaking point in the film. it like gets really intense violent and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Because it wasn't like that at the beginning, but then it like jumps up a notch. So if you don't like violence, the first half it's violent but not super bad, and then it gets really bad. So that's also, I was okay with that. It was just kind of a weird throughout the film. The violence, it doesn't just like gradually increase. It goes from here's our normal setting to all of a sudden new character. And it's not like he's like, it's like he has a break and he becomes a new character and boom, really intense fighting. It's, if you want to watch a violent film that's got fighting in it with CGI, sure. I'd probably never watch it again. And that's okay. That's most movies these days, is it's one and done and you're never going to watch it again. And that's what I would categorize this one as. This is not a film I would go buy at the end of the day. So maybe it should never have been made. The director wanted it to be released in theaters, and I think, and he was mad. If I remember correctly, the director was mad that this movie didn't get a theatrical release. I think it was a good thing that this movie didn't get a theatrical release, because it probably would have lost money. Where just going straight to streaming, it probably saved him a bunch of money. So I think that was the best route. It's on Amazon. Just go on Amazon, check it out if you want. If not, I don't blame you. But it's a violent movie, but it's fun at times. So yeah, that's my thought. I've got two more. I'm gonna do two more of these this weekend. So be prepared. Be ready. Please like and subscribe and comment on if you have any movies you want me to watch. Thanks.